Hi, Dave Littman, Director of Strategic Services at ARC Advisory Group. Today I am joined by Joe Rosig. Joe is Head of Smart Manufacturing and Supply Chain Center of Excellence with the AWS Automotive and Manufacturing Group. Joe, welcome.
Thank you.
Great to have you here, Joe. So a few questions for you. Based on your accomplishments in 2025, what are some of the key initiatives that you think will further improve your value proposition to your customers in 2026?
Yeah, we've seen a lot of customers in 2025 really start to experiment with AI in different forms, physical AI, agentic AI in particular. And especially in our industry, it really matters to be able to feel and experience the technology, right? It's not about the slideware and the PowerPoints per se, but really be able to dig in and understand what does this technology mean for me? And so some of our key initiatives that have just come off of discussions we've been having with customers is not only be able to demonstrate how these agents can add value to common processes in the manufacturing shop floor or across the supply chain, but also then be able to provide the sample code for those demonstrations as well, so that it just makes it easier and faster for the customers to do their own experimentation.
Okay, great. So one of the biggest issues we hear all the time has to do with unplanned downtime. So, help our audience understand a little bit about what AWS is doing, what you're doing with your group to help combat that.
Yeah, well, what's great about this, I'll say, current wave of AI is it really is a capstone moment for the industry. To your point on unplanned downtime, we've been talking about unplanned downtime and predictive maintenance as a common use case for years. But while that was typically focused on doing things like machine learning anomaly detection or building predictive models to prevent catastrophic failure, it always stopped at the model and the recommendation. What's different with this wave of AI is we're able to really build a closed loop end-to-end process. We can redefine the way we do maintenance management. And that's much more impactful than just thinking about where does predictive maintenance apply. And so really one thing that we're working on is perceiving where we might have a reliability issue with equipment. That might be done through a predictive model, through machine learning anomaly detection, but then also using the models to provide a recommendation of what should the follow-on action be. And then through the use of agents, we can either automate or build in assistance for the technician then to take action on that insight straight away. So it truly is reinventing that end-to-end process versus just thinking about where do I plug in specific technologies.
Okay, great. And just building on that point a little bit about agents and preventing unplanned downtime. Talk a little bit about where you see AWS and your clients leveraging AI and advanced analytics, to sort through, really endless amounts of data and turning that into actionable intelligence.
Yeah, there's a number of AWS managed services that come together in service of building an end-to-end outcome. And that's everything from ingesting data off the edge or off the shop floor, contextualizing that data across both the OT and the IT systems, integrating data in from the ERP, from the MES, from the other systems at play, but then also building that knowledge graph where we're having not only the metadata available to us, but knowledge of the relationships of how all of that data relates to each other, again, in service of the outcome. All of that is really important because then when you want to leverage some of the AWS services like SageMaker or Bedrock or QuickSuite, these are the services where you actually do the modeling, you get access to the large language models, you can have a chat interface with the large language models, but that all relies on good data that has context. And so there's a number of AWS services that are helping customers do that faster. There's a number of partners that we also work with that help simplify different parts of that architecture. But from our standpoint too, what we want to make sure we're providing is prescriptive guidance to our customers around how you do that most efficiently, cost effectively, and securely in the industrial space.
Okay, great. Last question, Joe, as we really start getting full underway in 2026, anything additionally, any final thoughts about some of the sort of tailwinds that are going to help propel AWS forward and helping its clients?
Well, I think it's a tailwind not only for AWS, but for the broader industry. It's been really amazing I would go back to kind of halfway through 2025 when the US had this AI action plan, and there was this initiative around how the US in particular is going to leverage AI, and you've seen other countries now start to adopt similar initiatives. What's been great about that for our industry is that manufacturing has been a focal point of where AI can really drive transformation. And so we see that certainly as a tailwind in 2026 in terms of customers thinking in creative ways around, hey, how do I take advantage of this AI wave to really build competitive advantage in a way that I haven't been able to do before? And so that's opened up a lot of interesting conversations and customers being really willing to start experimenting with applying things like agentic AI or physical AI to their hardest problems.
Okay, fabulous. Joe, thank you very much for being with us, and thank you for watching. Dave Littman at ARC Advisory Group, Joe Rosing with Amazon Web Services. Thank you.